Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Divinity Dragon Commander. I am Supreme Commander Jack, and joining me today is Courtesan Atoli.
Hello.
Atoli, Eddie has something to say.
He does.
Sorry excuse for a general, Henry is. Drunk as a dwarf again, going on and on about his lost arm. The more liquor disappears down his throat, the more he can still feel it. Wish he had a phantom tongue instead of a phantom limb. The place would be so much quieter.
Every now and then they'll just show up and tell you something.
You're such a dick. Be nice to Hank. Go into the throne room.
Oh, Eddie.
Commander, it is imperative that we should win the war. For our enemies are godless heathens in need of annihilation. To hasten this process, I therefore propose we introduce conscription. For why have young, able-bodied men sit around or do menial tasks when they could be serving in your armies instead?
Ooh.
Alright, so you can click. Alright. A race's attitude towards you determines how much support you will receive in combat when fighting in their lands.
Okay.
So, for example, right now we're in the Elf lands.
Right.
Listen to the counselors to hear their point of view regarding the issue at hand. After making a decision, you'll be able to find out if they're happy or not. So basically, talk to them and find out what everyone thinks.
Okay. I mean, we're about to go into their land.
It is.
So...
I will point this out. Like, actually putting in conscription does not actually affect anything outside of the approval or disapproval.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it won't give you more units or anything like that.
Alright.
But, for example, if you vote yes, obviously the undead will like it.
Yes.
Let's talk to everybody else, though.
Okay.
Here's an imp's perspective, Commander. More soldiers equals bigger battles, and bigger battles equals more explosions. Win-win. Granted, it's a bit of a simplistic perspective, but imps will have their fun, you know.
Alright, so he'd be okay with it.
I don't think conscription is a very good idea, Commander. Not only should a life of soldiery be an individual's choice rather than an obligation, but by drafting so many young men into the army, you're draining our economical reserves. So please don't forget your political obligations because of your military ones.
Alright, so she wouldn't like it.
Conscription may have somewhat of an ill ring to it, Commander, but it might be worth consideration nonetheless. There's not a dwarf that won't take up his axe for the Empire, but elves, a three-fingered man, could number their volunteers on one hand. Time to get these weaklings into shape.
The dwarves are positive.
Commander, even the most peace-loving elf won't deny that in these dark times of war, allowances have to be made which we would otherwise condemn. Conscription, though, goes too far. Let those that wish to fight for our cause do so, but let's not force men away from their families if they feel it is their duty to stand by them.
Okay, so I've got a 3-2.
You do, but this is not a democracy.
I know it's not democracy, but I'm just trying to think, like, we're in the Elven lands right now.
Yep, so this would upset them if you pass it.
Right. And I don't know how, like, so is that going to affect, like, their population that is allowed to, like, go for us?
Yes.
But then we're gonna move into the undead lands, which would help it. And we're almost done with the elves.
We're about halfway done. These are the choices you must make as Emperor. What about your own morality? Where's your morality in all this?
I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to a draft. We are in, like, an extreme time of war, and if I were to actually make the policy, it'd be temporary, of, like, you know...
Well, maybe this is temporary.
I think I'm gonna go for it.
Alright. The Empress has made her decision.
What do you think?
The Empress has made her decision.
Bravo, Commander. Nothing like fresh blood to reinvigorate the military. A lot of it will be spilled, yes, but in service of the Seven, that is an honor, not a sacrifice.
You have passed. You can find everyone's reaction.
You are too harsh a man, Commander. Think about the consequences of conscription. There will be cases of conscientious objection, desertion, thereby execution. So much drama for the sake of a few extra soldiers.
Good. Fair's fair, Commander. Oberon and his kin deserve to make a bit of an extra effort, and if they don't make for good cannoneers, at least they'll make for proper cannon fodder.
I think you're making a mistake, Commander, but so be it. A generation will march to war. How many will return?
You have damned a generation of children.
I knew you'd be swayed by the arithmetic of detonation. A child could do the math, and a child would be equally delighted by the outcome.
You sided with that of children.
I sided with the imps.
This is why she is the social policy maker, folks.
Alright, we're going to the bar.
Well,
Hank?
well, the Dragon Commander himself. Come, sit, drink with me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. He's had a few too many. But you'd take to the right too if you had an imp apparatus for an arm. Never told you how I came by this eyesore, did I?
You have not.
'Twas during the great and glorious last stand to save the Empire. Horseshit. We fought like lions so that the king, your bloody father, could scarper with what riches he could hold. But my soldiers did their duty. They died where they stood, and I was left for dead. Want of an eye and an arm. Not that any of it mattered. The king's head was shown decorating a stake, like star crowns will the pines come midwinter night. Defeat. Bah. Luckily, a touch of the malt can relieve its bitter taste.
Oh, so his arm loss is like recent.
Yeah, he lost his arm recently defending your father as he fled. So you could bitch him out for having a prosthetic limb. You could compliment him on his duty, or you could say goodbye.
I'm gonna compliment him on doing his duty.
You have the respect of Maxos, and that certainly speaks in your favor. But you'll need to come a long way yet to prove unto me you're not just another pampered prince he yanked away from his mother's teat.
Well, considering my mom's
So what
dead.
do you have then? Mead or milk?
I want to make a comment real quick about something nothing related to him.
Okay.
Scarlet.
Yeah?
While she is obviously the sexy general,
Yes.
I just want to give kudos to the fact that she's not wearing heels.
Yes. Yeah, she does have just like
Boots.
ass-kicking boots too.
Yep.
I like him.
Were that I were the monarch and you the general, I'd kill for one of your powers, whereas you hardly have need of us.
How do you think the war is
Really,
going?
Commander, let's actually go to war before we sit back and mull it over, shall we?
You haven't actually fighting that long yet.
She is so mean, but I like her. I'd like to hear your opinion on your fellow
If you
generals.
wish. Anyone in particular?
General
He's in a
Edmund.
class of his own, there's no doubt about it. A brilliant mind, but in my opinion, a flawed one as well. He styles himself as superior to everyone else, and that would be just fine if he weren't a man. Or a bigot.
Oh, snap.
I have many friends and enemies that are dwarves or elves or imps, and never have I seen evidence the one is inherently more smart or stupid than the other. In Edmund's mind, though, we are all on par with cattle, which is simply infuriating. If you wish.
How about
Anyway,
Henry?
General Henry is the typical man who thinks of himself as an alpha male, whereas he is, of course, an alpha mongrel.
Oh, snap.
He has the refinement of an inbred orc, and the manners to match, but he is a more than adequate officer once the trumpets herald war. Indeed, if he were a bit less brazen and a bit more calculated in his conduct, he might well come to rival Eerie Edmund.
So there you go.
She
Scarlet.
could stand to be a bit more ladylike in her ways, and many consider her resistance to authority counterproductive in a military setting. But she's wily as a wizard, and tough as mithril nails. Don't ask me why, but I have the feeling she's a troubled girl somehow. A girl, yes, hardly a woman as yet. None of my business, of course. She is here, and she's willing to fight for Rivellon. That's all that really matters.
Alright, I shall take my leave. Thank you for your opinions.
You can talk to Scarlet.
Oh,
Come
and carnage. Huzzah! You showed him, Commander.
Just want to point out the boobs on the bartender.
Are apparently pumpkins.
And,
I think they're both pumpkins. They're both orange.
one's orange, one's red.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, I thought they were both pumpkins.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, it's an apple.
Oh, it is an apple. You're right.
Aha.
That is awkward. What do you say, Scarlet? Shall we be victorious in the end?
Axel seems to think so, and he's a wizard. They have uncanny senses, you know.
The other generals, how do you feel about them? Catherine, for
Bit
instance.
stuck up, ain't she? That's what a royal title will do to you. She used to be a proper queen and everything, with an entire country at her beck and call. How the mighty have fallen, eh? Me? I don't care for any of that rot. You got nothing. You got nothing to lose. About whom, Commander?
Edmund?
Shifty son of a bitch, isn't he? Acting all high and mighty all the time, calling imps idiots, dwarfs dullards, that sort of thing. Makes you wonder if there's a single thing he's not intolerant of.
Cherry, apparently.
About whom, Commander?
General
Excellent
Henry.
chap, that one. Likes his jokes dirty and his liquor plenty. 2 peas in a pod, me and him. Or on and off, that is. Can fight like a demon unleashed as well. Best to have him on our side.
I shall take my leave.
And there you go.
I want these two to hook up.
You want Eddie and the bitch?
No, I want Henry and the bitch.
Oh, Henry and the bitch?
I don't know, I just think they'd be a really cute couple.
They're all Hank and the beach.
Indeed.
Alright, we're going to return to the engineering bay. I want to look at advanced.
Okay.
I think...
Oh, the Empire! I don't know what that is,
I'm just seeing... I think armor is where we want to go next.
Okay.
Or we can go ironclads, which are naval ships. What do you think? You seem to have everything against transports, so...
No, I have nothing against transports, although I do think the idea of having naval ships might be good. Just because I feel like our enemies already have the potential for that, since they seem to move a little faster than us.
They do.
And I just feel like it would put us on par. Although, upping, like...
Armor could be good.
What does that do exactly? Allows...
They're armored ships. They're tanks.
Oh, okay. Well, then that might be good, too.
You also get zeppelins.
It's weak against all.
Well, it's a buff unit. It's support.
Okay, gotcha.
Or we can go back and maybe get warlocks.
And warlocks are what?
Flying units that are good against ironclads and air units. Get transports.
Well, you are the general in this case, so I will let you make your decision.
I am indeed. I think we are going to continue a strong defensive force, so I'm going to go ahead and get the armor.
Okay.
I am then going to return to the map. Let's see what we have. Alright, so we succeeded in repelling their force.
Yes.
Gonna launch them there, we're gonna get out there. So we'll go ahead and hold that. We have 2 hunters here. And I am going to... Actually, what I'm going to do really quick is on this island, I'm going to build something.
Okay.
I think we're going to go with a gold mine.
Okay.
Because if we go with a gold mine, this will go from a 3 to a 6.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And that seems like a decent idea. It'll pay for itself relatively quickly.
Yes.
So we do that, we have 10 remaining.
Okay.
I'm going to send the hunters here.
Alright.
And then I'm going to go ahead and build some more troopers.
Okay.
To hold the homeland.
Right, of course.
This area is a little undefended, but notice their transports are still up north, so we have nothing to worry about there. We have a choice of where we could go.
I mean, I feel like we should...
I think this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one too.
Because the thing about this one is that it's only attackable from here or by ocean.
Yes.
This one's attackable from all 3 positions, so we don't really want to get surrounded.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and send these 2 hunters, these 2 troopers, and 2 more of these. That should probably be enough.
Okay.
If we look here, I am going to make it so that these guys can't move.
Okay.
Because I don't want them moving into here or reinforcing.
Yes.
So
good idea.
That will be our move. So we
Which is nice because it means that neither of those 2 troops can move.
Exactly. Now they're going to start building reinforcements.
Right.
Which is difficult, but I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna send them in. They wipe it out.
Wrecked them.
No problem.
Cool.
We didn't even lose anything.
Excellent.
Now we can see we have our first movement in
Ah.
popularity. Elves and lizards have gone down by 5%, but we gained 15 across the others.
Okay.
Henry is unfit to be a general. But don't quote me on that, says Lord Edmund. Conscription. Generations of children are marching to war.
Okay, I assume if it's like the draft here, they have to be 18.
Nope. Fantasy World. So, because we have succeeded in that, we have got summer sales. Troopers cost 1 less recruit to produce,
Oh, that's
which
good.
is useful. And, because you have been doing nice things with him, this is a card that allows hunters to move faster.
Oh, nice.
So, let's continue.
Alright, well, hello, madam.
Fie upon Edmund's pride, Commander. The Lizard Lords have granted him the honor of representing our mighty military on a diplomatic mission of utter import, and he gets his knickers in a twist because it comes with a spot of sacrament alien to our ways. I should think it would be good fun to attend an imp ceremony. Something is bound to blow up. Isn't that what the generals normally like?
You would think so. You
You
would
would.
think so.
Let's see what's going on.
I like her.
Let's see what's going on at the bar. Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Henry?
Must say, I don't envy Edmund, Commander. He's to bow and scrape afore an imp of all things. If 'twere any other general, I'd publicly protest. But that conceited tosser deserves to kiss dust once in a while. Remind him he walks the earth just like the rest of us. Well, except you, perhaps.
It's true, because I have wings.
And a jetpack.
And a jetpack. That is a giant cigar.
It's in the foreground.
I know, it just looks humongous.
Imps, Commander. Are they not truly the lowliest of all the races? Were it not for the hint of demon cunning in their blood, we most probably wouldn't speak to them as much as serve them for supper with a series of seasonal stuffings. As it is, however, the Lizard Lords have deemed it fit to strengthen the military cooperation between ourselves and those demoniacal dewdrops.
Demoniacal
I'd exhale an
dewdrops.
existential sigh upon the hearing of such folly, yet give it no further thought but for one devilish detail in the treaty. It is I, as our foremost general, who must, quite literally, stoop to inspect their armies. An impish high priest will be present, figures fit for fasts that are greeted and received with ridiculous amounts of highly ritualized protocol. As Henry might say, Commander, I'd rather lick marmalade from an orc's behind than bow to an imp. My very reason for currying your draconic benevolence at this hour. Certainly I have your blessing to abstain from these grotesque formalities and tend to business rather than etiquette.
So, what do you choose? Do you tell him to suck it up? That's the way of democracy. Or do you lend him your signet ring and instruct him that when they ask for him to do protocol, he can, like, hold up his hand and be like,
Oh no. He's gonna suck it up. I don't care if they have you jumping through hoops. If a courtesy is demanded, you must deliver upon it, such as the rules of diplomacy.
Your wish, my command, et sorry cetera. But if there indeed be hoops, the snapping of little necks will be added to the ritual.
Suck it up!
Triumph begets triumph, it seems. There's just no stopping you, is there?
So she has nothing currently to say.
Okay. What about you?
To be in the thick of battle. With you calling the shots, it's a joyride rather than a jeopardy.
Alright, she
Yes,
has nothing either.
Hey, she was complimenting me, man.
She was complimenting you.
Thank you very much.
You need to go to the royal chamber.
Let's see if Max has anything for us.
Alright.
What?
That's sassy pose.
Bravo, Commander.
No, he doesn't have anything else
Alright.
for us. Alright, and
Engineering Bay probably doesn't either, right?
no, not unless there's an exclamation mark.
Alright, let's go to the bridge then.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the map for one more turn.
I like that she, by the way,
Uh-huh.
wanted him to do that stuff.
Oh, yes.
Because everybody's like, yeah, even in the Lizard Society, he's still a pompous
So,
dick.
here's the thing. Because you heard our standing with the elves,
Oh.
when the popularity drops below 50%, which it has,
Uh-huh.
science and money coming out of them drops.
Okay.
So the fact that you have pissed off the elves means we are now receiving less money.
Oh.
Just wanted to make a point of that.
Well,
Just
hurry
say-
up and just conquer the rest of the elf area and go into the freaking
I am working on it. Okay.
undead area, and then we'll get lots of
I
money.
am working on it.
Okay.
I say. So, we are actually... Oh, do troopers only have one movement? Oh, they do. Okay, so hunters have two. I believe we could hold for one turn, but that's going to give them even more time to reinforce.
Yeah, I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Yes. Do we have any cards? We don't really have anything of much benefit here.
Okay.
So instead, we are going to build some buildings.
Okay.
Over here, I think we need a tavern.
Okay.
We don't really have one yet.
Alright.
So I feel like a tavern here will do us some good because it'll give us some mercenary cards.
Okay.
Here, I would actually like to not play a card. I am tempted to go with Parliament.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think the Wizard Tower
Yeah.
is 100% necessary right now.
No, it's not. So once again, we don't really have any transport, and I want more defense.
Yes.
So we're going to bring them, and then we're going to invade.
Okay.
Heavily.
Okay.
Like so.
Yes.
Because if we can hold this, that kind of makes this a choke point, other
Yeah.
than if they send a boat.
Right.
And I think they can only make the one boat.
Okay, good.
Because they're only other... Because the thing is keep in mind, you can only construct units where you have a capital or a factory.
Okay.
They have a factory here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, but here.
Right.
So if I can hold this...
Is that the Wizard Tower?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, it's the Eye of Sauron.
It is a little bit. Bit of red paint on the top. But that will mean that they will have to send everything through here.
Right.
And so that's why we're going to play this like so.
Okay.
Alright. Advance the armies. Now he's going to build some units, and I don't blame him for that.
Yep.
There's a transport. Alright, let's see how this battle's looking. Battle's looking rough, because he's playing cards.
Yes.
However, so we can do this. I'll bring his troopers down. We can also go ahead and give us a couple of shaman.
Okay.
And we can do that, which will assist in our fight.
Okay.
So, it's a lot.
Yep. I don't think we have enough money.
We don't. I'm just seeing what they would do for us. So this is going to be a hard-fought battle. And we are going to take care of it next time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. This battle is probably going to determine what exactly is going to happen for the rest of this game.
You think so?
I think it's going to be a big one, folks. So, tune in next time to find out how it goes. Have a good day.
Bye guys, thanks for watching.